So folks, today we're back in BeamNG Drive and we're going to be doing the water skipping challenge, except for we're going to be playing with the size of the vehicle. So we're going to be pitting tiny vehicles versus massive vehicles to see truly which one skips better. Comments down below who you think is going to win, and let's jump in. All right, so the Pessima has always been like the king of water skipping. Between it and certain D series, so we're going to do a control test here with a normal sized vehicle, and a lot of people were asking me to do this. They were like, you've got to try this with the car scaler. Maybe we can eventually get all the way across this water skipping map, and here we go. Look at how good that works. All right, so it looks like, you know, without any extra speed, about 200 is the base. So using the same vehicle, do you think scaling it down or scaling it up? Are we going to make it further? Let's do a scale down first. Let's go 30% or 0.30. I don't know how this would be more effective, but I have to try it with the small one. I think the big ones. Now, when you do the big ones with more power, I feel like there's a good chance that we're actually going to make it all the way across. So stay tuned for that. All right, here we go. Mini vehicle. Are we going to make it further? What the? You know, it actually wasn't that much different. It definitely was a lot more unstable. So maybe because it's a smaller vehicle, maybe less surface. So in theory, though, if you go above, so if we got the car scaler here by Stefan, let's just say, let's go 3 times. You know what's funny? I've got to check and see. Can I remove the roof? Okay, I can. I was about to say, there's a chance we're going to need to remove that at some point once the vehicles start getting really, really freaking big. All right, here we go. So another really neat option about this mod is that you can increase the engine power, which I feel like big and upgraded engine probably is going to be the way to go. Oh, this is incredible. It doesn't actually feel like we're moving fast. Oh, here it goes. Here it... Huh. So being big was worse. So what are we thinking this is going to be? That is a good freaking question. So let's try something else here. Let's try, if I go over to settings, you see engine power? So what if I scale it up to 3? Since the vehicle was scaled to 3, shouldn't the engine be scaled to 3? Same with the gear ratio. Let's just test this out, and then we're gonna start to grab some random vehicle and see if that works. Okay, maybe scaling the gear out was not a good idea. Wait, what? So scaling the gear out made it to where it topped out at 60. Okay, let's turn that down to 1 again. Okay, here we go. It's shifting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run out of gear here. It definitely feels faster now. Oh yeah, here we go. So 6th gear, I'm topping out at 172. Is it really gonna be any different though? It felt like we got up to speed a lot faster. Okay, so we're kind of coming to the conclusion here that maybe being bigger isn't necessarily better here for water skipping. But don't worry, folks, I've got a ton of other mods spawned in. Another one I really wanted to try was this GD808. So I'm gonna try not to use JADOs at first, because I know how everybody feels about JADOs, but I am kind of curious if this thing can water skip. I know we've done this on a ramp, and it didn't work well because it nosedived, but just a perfectly flat water skip, will something like this work? I feel like the bottom actually might get along with the water here. Hold on. Okay, I should probably never open up my mouth. There is no way, even if we scale this thing, I don't think we're preventing that. Oh man, I'm actually kind of disappointed there. I felt like we were going to have a stronger start here with the Pessima. Maybe the Bugatti. Let's try a Bugatti real quick. These can be a little tricky because of all the underbody parts. They either are going to act like a float or they're just going to nosedive it. All right, here it goes, Bugatti, and... Okay. That one, it just catches air. That did opposite of dive. That just actually caught air. So, hold on, I haven't tried scaling this vehicle up. Let's go maybe ×2. A bigger Bugatti. What about power? You know, I don't know if we've ever... Did we even reach the maximum gearing there? Let's go that ×2. Okay, let's try this one out real quick. I still think the underside on this one is not good for water skipping. Also, let's get out of the red mode here. There we go. Oh, we're booking it. All right, is it gonna launch again? Or maybe it's gonna act a little bit different because it's big? No, it slowed it down so much faster. Okay. Huh. All right, we got to try some more random vehicles here. You know, I could have the randomizer choose for me, but feel like maybe I should choose the first couple. So Stefan did say that the RC car should finally work with this mod. I don't know if this is a water skipper. It does have a really flat bottom on it, so maybe that would work. Also, we're gonna have to make this like 10 times as big because of how tiny it is. Does that work? No, I think we can go, let's go 20. Let's see, 20. Does it still fit in the tunnel? Oh yeah. Oh, that fits. I don't think this one's actually gonna skip that well, but I just want to see if it actually moves. Oh my goodness, it actually moves now. We're also booping our head off the, oh. I might need to play with the power settings, or I forgot. This mod actually makes it to where you can go in, hold on. We have a stage 4 upgrade. I don't know if it's gonna get grip in here, but I don't know, maybe this will actually work. I feel like these wheels are so big, it might float. Hold on, folks. Do we feel like we need to take the roof off? Let me take the roof off real quick. Let's go. Boop. There we go. I've never really had to alter like a map in order to fit a car in it. So this is kind of new and uncharted territories here. Also, this thing totally still has RC power. We're only going at 90. Like, I mean, 90 for an RC car is pretty fast. But one that's like, is it 20 times? We're 20 times, right? Yeah, 20 times bigger. And, oh, here we go. Am I floating? No. Okay, that was a bust. Yeah, the 20 times bigger RC car doesn't do any good for us. Okay, so let's try this stripped down bolide here. Oh, that's gonna have some good speed. Let's do a control test. I think that's the way to do this. Do the control test. If it works out well, then we can start to adjust the sizes to see if we can get across this. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure, oh, it skips, but it slows down a lot. Okay, think. What would be, you know, let's try a D series. Let's go with the high powered. Maybe if we adjust the size on those, it might work out a little bit better. Not gonna lie, I think I found a cheat one. I'm gonna put this out to the side. This will be one of those, you're gonna use it later on because it's got a J note. It says it's a boat. Okay, we got a drag truck here. I'm hoping that this one glides. Here we go. Oh my goodness. It's also really good doing a water skipping challenge again. It's been a hot second. Like I said, I think when Rossi pretty much won the video when he sent me that it was a Pessima configuration. Like I'm like, it doesn't get much better, but now that we have the car scaler and some more mods, ooh, that was decent, but I feel like it topped out too quick. So that proves that the D series is a good water skipper, but we need one with more insane speed. Okay, this thing supposedly has 4,200 horsepower. I like this. This reminds me of the stripped down Pessimas. Hold on, we might have a winner here. By the way, if you're asking, okay. Oh, I was about to say, is it ever gonna shift? I think I have to manually shift this one. Oh, there it goes. Wait a minute, I might have just screwed this up. I feel like, did I just boost? Also, hold on. Yep, I forgot I have my boost bound. I could do this. Yeah, this is cheating. This is definitely cheating. Okay, I went to shift up and I was like, wait a minute, I think I just boosted. Okay, trust me, as much as I want to use the boost, I feel like that's cheating. Also, this thing just does not want to get into gear here. Come on. There's second gear, third gear. Why is there even NOS on this? Fourth gear? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Is there fifth? Fifth gear? 260. Oh, folks, if we could scale up the power right, I want to give that one more run. I feel like I might have screwed the gearing up there. I didn't shift in time. Okay, here we go. Go. Second gear. Second gear's got a little lag on it. Then you go third gear, fourth gear. Ooh, buddy. Okay, fifth gear. It pulls kind of to the left. There we go. That's 300 miles an hour. Okay, what are we gonna get to? 275. So, like I said from the intro, the end is 500. So a little over halfway. So do we think we can manipulate the size? Would going bigger be better? What if I just did 2 times? We go 2 times and then we scale up. Maybe I scale the weight with it. So obviously it's pretty balanced. So I'm going to scale the weight up with it and the engine power. Oh my goodness, look how much bigger we are beside the other vehicle. That's amazing. Okay, back it up.
It seems like even the sound went like up an octave. It sounds a little bit more like high pitched.
All right, here we go. Second gear lag. Wait, what? Okay, it just went from, oh, I don't know how I put it straight into neutral there. Oh, hold on. Hold on, what's happening here? The scaling up of power worked really well, but it's worse. I think I'm convincing myself bigger vehicles, even with the scaled up power, are worse. Because how did we not even get to the 275? I felt like we were going faster there. At least according to the speedometer, we were going faster. Okay, let's go first gear, second gear, third gear. Nothing funny there that time. Try to eliminate any sort of funniness in the gearing. I mean, the speed is reading almost 400 miles an hour. But when we hit... Okay, I'm going to be a little cheeky here. What if we don't adjust the weight? Maybe the weight is perfectly fine. Because technically it's supposed to scale up. Hold on. Let's do this. It's my last attempt with this, but this is definitely... Oh, yeah, the gearing is really weird. Okay, maybe I didn't actually go up. Okay, now neutral first. There it goes. Second, third, fourth. In theory, I should be faster. I'm going to be a little lighter here. Fifth, sixth. Oh, that is incredible. All right. No, it's still, like, even with the 1.0 weight, it does not go any faster. It's bad because I could almost just put that away. Like, I don't need to do that. So, what if we were a slight bit smaller then? Because 1.0 works really good. What if we were like 8, like 0.8? Let's try that one. By the way, I've adjusted the power back to being the same. All right, let's back it up. So maybe being a little smaller is going to help here. I think there is such thing as being too small and it becomes a little unstable. But maybe being slightly smaller will get us to where we want to be. I mean, to be fair, where we want to be is, yeah, it's almost 250 more meters, or like 225. All right, here we go. Wait a minute. That's better. Okay, so big vehicles, unless you make it like, I guess 500 meters long, they're not good for skipping. Smaller vehicles, though, they're good for skipping. Hold on. Let's go maybe 0.7 here. We're learning here. I like doing stupid testing episodes like this. Okay, here we go. Let's get it. Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. We're going to put this one to the side. I mean, with JADOs, I think for sure we'd make it across. That was a lot of pull to the left that time. Okay, here we go. Fifth gear. Hitting right around that 300 area. That was a really good skip. Oh, got a little unstable. I think, oh, a wheel broke off. So if you can keep the wheels intact, it's pretty good. Okay. Let's set this one to the side. This is going to be one we might be able to pull back out. Also, I think we're learning that stripped down vehicles are the best. So do I have any stripped down, like, carts and Tillas? So I have one of these top speed vanillas, which I'm pretty sure is by Fall Gym. So this one eliminates the front skid plate. Do I not have reverse in this thing? You know, I have a feeling my downshifts are a thing. Okay, let me just turn it. So this is a top speed cart, by the way. Here we go. Oh, okay. Yep. This is fast. This is really fast. But is it over 300? It's gonna be, oh yeah, there it goes. Nope. Scintilla, no go. So right now it's between, you know, I wonder if the Legrand is any good. Because to me, it's somewhat similar shape to the Pessima. So let's try a Legrand. Let's see if we got like a top speed one. So I've got a drag wagon. I don't actually have a stripped down version of this thing. A little concerning. So obviously we could go smaller. So smaller seems to be what helps these vehicles cross. You know, it's bad when you get into a drag racing version. You're like, oh, this is going to be really fast. But it's nothing compared to some of the other things you've pulled out today. It's a good skipper. I wonder if the wheelie bar is helping. You know, I didn't think about that. Hold on. Do we have a wheelie bar for this? Okay, I had to confirm. I don't have a wheelie. I'm sure there is a wheelie bar mod for the D series, but I do not have one installed. Okay, what if we go for just something really long like a limo? Here we go. Look at this thing. Oh, that's not fast. I got excited there for a second. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. No, this doesn't look like it's gonna be fast at all. I guess I have NOS, so we'll give us a couple extra. Wait a minute. Yo, the limo works pretty good though. Huh. If only I had a ridiculously fast limo. I mean, I guess with the scaler, it's not just for, you know, scaling up the size. I could. What if I scale up the engine power? Was I doing the strength earlier? I hope I was doing engine power. I think I was doing engine power. Now I'm gonna have to go back and look at my footage and make sure I was doing that. So let's put it 5 on. Oh my goodness. It's just wheel spin city. See, I think the gearing is still gonna be a limiting factor here unless I increase it too. Okay, hold on. Spray it with NOS. Over 200. The wheels do not like this. No grip. Whoa. That's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I also wonder, hold on. Now I've got it in the back of my head that I wasn't doing the engine power. I believe I was. Let's put it at 5.0 on this one. All right, I'm trying to hold on to this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, 5th gear. Huh. That's a good question. I am now curious. Well, I figured out there's a way that you could do too much and you end up blowing off the front tires or whatever tire's driving it. I'm assuming it was the fronts on this one. Wow, that was something. Hold on. Let me up the gear ratio on this one. Let's do it by 5. And let's go 0.7. So we'll shrink it a little bit. Let's see what this does. So we've got it geared out. You know, the gearing I think is a little weird. Maybe you should go opposite. Yeah, because it gears out so quick now. So should I half the gear ratio? Maybe that'll give us more speed. All right, let's try that. Oh, no, come on. Get past first gear. Okay, now it won't. There's, okay, 2nd gear. Hold on, so going down on the gear ratio makes it to where you have taller gears. Now we're learning here, folks. Hold on. I think we can make this work. Okay, so let me go 0.70. I think we're good there. I'll manually shift if I need to here, just to try to get it pushed up in those higher gears. So be honest, comment down below. Did you guys think that the bigger cars were going to work better? I thought that, but I've been proven wrong. Also, I've been proven that these tires, they just don't have enough grip. Okay. I think we've learned. It's past my time. Hold on, real quick. Let's just cheat it. Just to say I can get across. We got to do the boat real quick. I'm trying to avoid JATOs, but I think at some point you just really can't avoid these, can you? Oh my goodness. You know, I could have just pulled that out in the first 10 seconds, ended the video, and been done with it. Okay, so Pessima it is. Let's go back with the Pessima, and let's make it stronger. Not gonna lie, the Fall Gym pack has one called the Dam Buster, and I'm thinking that it's like a water dam, right? What? Hold on. This thing wasn't meant for water skipping, was it? Oh my goodness, it's fast. Let's try this. Normally, the Pessimas work best when they're stripped down. I'm assuming just less weight just to get across, but this thing is, well, it's got really good acceleration, but it is definitely not good on the top end here. But wait a minute, it's floating on those tires. I think I might be able to use the car scaler to make this one make it. We got to change the gearing out. Gearing's obviously it tops out a little too quick. If I could get this thing up to about 300 miles an hour and it not explode, because we do have slicks on here, so I'm hoping the tires can maintain grip. Okay, I'm going to shrink the car slightly here. There we go. Oh, this might be a mess. Oh my goodness. Okay, shift. Oh, 5th gear. 6th gear. Oh my goodness. I might need to give it a little bit more gearing. But let's try 230 here. Oh my goodness, look at that. 325, 350, 375. This is gonna be a winner here. Yeah, buddy. So yeah, I mean, you could really use this car scaler to your advantage to make these things water skipping beast here. So let me adjust this to maybe 6.0 for gear ratio. Yeah, I think doing this again with the randomizer is just not going to work. On. I need you to shift. There we go. There's 6th gear. Wait, it's actually acting a little bit different this time. Hold on. The gearing went the other way. So maybe I do need to give it a... You know, let's give it a 0.90. Let's try that real quick. Yeah, this gearing is actually confusing me. Sometimes it seems like if you go lower, it gives the car more top speed. Sometimes you go higher, and then all of a sudden you're topping out. Look, now we're topping out quicker. What? It is all sorts of confusing. So I think we're figuring out your gear ratio needs to be close to your vehicle scale, because that seems to actually affect it. So if I go 8.0, so we're going to go slightly bigger, and let's go. Dude, we're like so freaking close too. I probably could take the parts off and make it the distance. Okay, so now we're topping out at 200. All right. Oh, hold on. 199 maybe? No, 198. That's not good enough now. That is so strange. You know, out of curiosity, I know it's probably not going to work. Let's go 2 times the size. How does that affect this? Okay, here we go. So I'm assuming I'm going to slow down faster. I'm not going any faster as far as the speed. Okay, yeah, no, it's definitely not that. I thought I'd try again. I was like, hold on. I feel like we're discovering things. Okay, so .50 gets me up to about 250. I don't think 250 is enough, though. It's going to be close. Actually, I was about 260, 270 there. That almost seems worse. This is like one of those mysteries that's going to absolutely, like, haunt me, my dreams. Going, like, what is the right combination? If you guys had a guess, comment down below. I mean, it's obvious that JATO's is the right combination. What if I went 10 times the power? Does that just blow the wheels off this one? Let me just try that real quick. There we go. Yep, 10 times the power. I think immediately just exploded the drive shaft. Like, was that a thing? There's a drive shaft there. And then I gun it. Yep, you can see the transmission. It just blows right off the front. Okay, you really want to screw with stuff? What if we just took weight away from it? So, obviously, when you scale it up, weight becomes a big factor. So what if we just do 0.5? So we're to stay at 1.0. I've got a top speed variant here, which should hopefully be a little faster than the last one. Oh, here we go. That's, it's debatable. Hold on, it's still slowly picking up. I wish it had better acceleration. Okay, so we're lighter now. And, oh, wow. So it's a weight thing. I wonder if you could just be big and be light. I feel like that's probably a possibility. Okay, we've gone up. We're 2 times as big now, but we're a heck of a lot lighter. So the gear ratio and the power, I really don't think matters when you make it this light. This might actually work. Oh, maybe it's the surface area. Maybe weight doesn't matter, because regardless, going bigger. I knew somebody was going to say, well, why don't you take the weight down? Even with taking the weight down, a bigger vehicle is not a better skipper. It could also just be a fine balance of having some weight while skipping. Maybe there needs to be a decent bit of weight. We're about to figure this out. We're at 0.80, but we have 0.20 weight. Here we go. I don't even hear the water noise. Yep. It's a weight thing. It's definitely a weight and size thing. So I think we figured it out. You've got to have a little bit smaller vehicle and very, very low weight. So one last thing I do want to do then. If I had a normal size vehicle but the same weight, would I have still cleared? You know, if we learned anything, it's probably you should always just use JATO's to go across water, because it's so much faster. All right, so here we go. 1.0, same weight. Let's see if being bigger is going to be better for this. I feel like the .8, .7 is the best. Yeah, look at that. I'm not going to make it across. So even with less weight, actually, I might float. Nope, it died out. So yeah, even with the low weight, we wouldn't have made it as a normal sized vehicle. So I think that we come to the conclusion, smaller vehicles are better for water skipping.